Hello everyone, welcome back to Skillify. Today we'll be looking for the some very standard and basic formulas in Excel. So we have a list of 20 formulas. So after completing this tutorial, you'll be able to implement approximately each and every formula how you can implement. So in this one we'll see exactly is there the standard format to apply the formulas, or do you have to create your own formulas by like implementing your understanding this way. Okay, so let's start this. So very first I have this sum. Okay, so it is irrespective of, it's not something similar to add, it is something different. For example, let's say I have few numbers over here. Okay, let's say it's a kind of array. Okay, so I have a list. What I will do is simple. I want to sum of these all values. Okay, so what I can do is I can just simply, first is the trick to apply a formula is to put is equal to, we know that. So type sum, press the tab key to open the formula for you. Now we have, it is asking for numbers. So what you'll do is simple, select the range completely, close the bracket and hit enter. Now it will provide you the sum of the all values. Okay, it's not just limited to the just single row or to the single column this way. So you can just add all the values. Okay, so you can just have the sum of all the values. Now if we move to the subtract one, let's say I have a number as this is 3 and another number is 2 and I want to subtract it. Again you have to, because this is a formula, you have to start with is equal to. You can see that whenever we type is equal to, that thing was got visible in this area. That is the, what is this? This is our formula tab. Okay, so yes. Now I want to subtract this number by this number. So what I'll do is simple. I have two ways to do it. Simply either I can type it this way, 3 minus 2, and I will hit enter and I will get the answer. But let's say in some scenario, I will be changing the values. Let's say I want to change, I am making it 5 and hit enter. So this value is not getting changed because it's not dynamic. You have manually provided the value. So here the concept of cell referencing came in between. Now what I want is simple. I want to subtract 2 from 5. So what I will do, I will select 5 first. I will give it the operation what I want to perform. It's subtraction in this scenario. And then select the other cell and just hit enter. So you are getting the answer. For example, now if I change it to some other number, if I hit enter, my answer is automatically get changed. If I just change it to 4, I will hit enter and my answer is getting changed. Same way multiply works. Let's say I want to multiply 3 by 4. What I will do is, again, that manual one option is there, 3. To multiply, you have to put this asterisk sign and then 4. Hit enter. You'll be getting answer, but in some scenario, if you'll be changing these values, it will not get changed because you have provided these values manually, not by the cell referencing. So best way is to do with it with cell referencing. So select the cell, give the operation, select the another cell, hit enter. Same way you can perform the divide. So the sign for divide is, see, these formulas are not some standard formula. It's like is equal to and you start typing divide. So you will not be getting any, there is no standard formula as divide. So we have to perform it by ourselves. So let's say I want to divide the 6. So the sign for division is this forward slash. So I want to divide 6 by 4. I will just hit enter. Okay, so it's 1.5. And one more thing is there is no need to put brackets and all. Okay, until or unless there are some other situation. For example, you need to divide this scenario by something, then only you have to provide the brackets. So just hit enter. Now add is something different. You can have multiple values, you can add them. So is equal to, select this value, give it the operation, select the other value, hit enter. This is the way you can work. And if I show you again about the sum, so let's type the sum, tab key to open the formula. This is the standard formula we have in Excel. So you can just select this range this way. Okay, and just close the bracket, hit enter. Now you have the summation over here. Now if I go to check for the minimum, we have minimum is a standard formula we have in the Excel. So press the tab key. It is asking for a range. Let's say I want to check out in this complete range from this to this area. Close the bracket, hit enter. So the minimum number in this range is 1.5. You can see that. Yes, 1.5 is the minimum number we have. Same way we can go for the max. Max is also a standard formula. tab key, select the range. So up to you whether you want to select a single, let's say just one row or one column. This time let's apply in just this column and close the bracket, hit enter. So answer will be 54.5. Okay, now there is we usually get confused in the count and count a function. So just understand the difference. Okay, I will type count function. So it is asking for the values. So let's select all these values. Okay, so I have selected this range. Now calculate one thing. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 blank cells. So close the bracket, hit enter. It is showing you the 14th value. Okay, just calculate. So we have 3, 3 and 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. And this one is 13. This one is 14. Okay, we have selected from this area, right? So it is not calculating the blank cells. Same way, let me just show you another example. We have some numbers. Let's implement this count again. We have some numbers. So I want to implement count. So count is equal to count. Press tab key. Select this range. Okay. Close the bracket. Hit enter. So there are total number of values are 7, right? Now let me just remove this one value. So now this value is getting converted to 6. So basically what count does is it calculates the number of cell in which you have the numeric value. Okay. And let me just type it. If I press enter, and even though I have typed something, so it is not counting that, because count is something which work on the numbers and date function, dates also, just only. Now if I go with the count A, tab key. So again, I'm selecting this range and just close the bracket, hit enter. It is calculating as 7. So what count actually does is it just ignore the blank cells. For example, if I increase the cell, if I double click on it, if I just change my range, so let's select some blank cells also, close the bracket, hit enter. Now again it is showing us the 7 values. The reason is it never count the blank cells, but it is calculating the cells in which we have the text, right? We have numbers, it will count the numbers, it will count the text, everything. Okay, now if I come to the average, again average is a standard function we have in Excel. Tab key. So again, you have to select the range. Let's say I want to find the average of something. So for example, let's take an example of some salary or something. Okay. So let's say I have these some kind of salaries, and let's give it some format. So 2 rupees or something. Yes. Now what I will do is simple. I want to find out what is the average salary for some post or something. So I will just go with average function. I will select the range, close the bracket, and hit enter. So 15,033 rupees is something that is the average salary we are getting right now. Okay, median is just the mid of some values. Same way you have applied average, we can apply median also. It is also a standard formula. Tab key, select the range, close the bracket, hit enter. So 5,600 is the median of this value. Now, if I go to the if function, so if it's something that is like the condition based, we already have a video on if function, the detailed one. You can check that out. Now, let's say I have something I have written as, let's say, yes. Now, if I apply the if function, tab key, it is asking for me to logical test. So if I want to check out, like in the cell, is my value is equal to this one. Okay. So comma, so if the cell is having a value as happy, if that condition is true, show me this. So we need to put it in inverted comma. Okay. And if this condition is not true, so you have to show me this. Yes. So close the bracket and hit enter. So it is showing us here. Let's say just change it to something else. Um, so it will show you last. Now we have the count if also a condition. So basically you are counting something in a range, you are counting the number of cell or the values on a specific criteria. So what I can do is simple, type countif. It is also a standard formula. You can just read it out. Count the number of cells with a range that meet the given condition. So again, if it's a condition based formula, right? If it is a condition based formula, so countif is also work same way. So if I hit tab, so range, let's say I want to select this range, and in this range I want to check out if is there a value as 3. So want to check out 3. Let's calculate it manually. So we have 1, 2, 3. 3 times 3 is there. Close the bracket, hit enter. So number of counting is 3. So in this range, it didn't count all the numbers. So we have given some condition that was, we just want to calculate how many cells have a value as 3. So it has replied us with number as 3. Let's say, let's go with the sum if, also condition based. So it is asking for a range and then criteria, what you want to put a criteria. Okay, now this is the range. Okay, now comma. Let me just give you another example of this. Let's say I have a value over here. uh, okay, and then some ranges are there. Let's say some data about courses and all. Okay, so what I have done is I have taken an example. Let's say I have a list as like these are the name of the courses and the years. So I want to do the sum of that. Let's say just change it to the number of student. Okay, instead of year, just do it as. Hmm. So now let's type the function is equal to sum if tab key. So range is this one. This is my range, comma. What is the criteria I want to check out for Excel? Okay. So and then some range will be this. Then just close the bracket, hit enter. So actually, it is not showing any value because we haven't implemented the complete formula. Okay, once again. Yes. So we have applied the criteria, then we have the range, and last thing is remaining. Once again. Mm, this is the value, this is the criteria. Yes. Yes. So what we have done is exactly, so we are starting with the sum function. So let me just implement it again for you. So first thing, it is asking for a range in which you want to sum of something. Let's say, so what my concern right now is to just calculate. Let's say these are the number of student I had in my course. Okay, so the Excel in the 1 year I have 2, then next year I have 3 students this way. So just select the range first. So this is the range. I think that number is gone. Okay, is equal to sum if tab key. Now select this range. So this is the range in which I want to sum up, comma. What is the criteria? On the basis of what? So I want to just add my values, sum my values on the basis of this name, that is Excel. So I just want to sum up the number of student in Excel, comma. So where is the range from which you want the sum? So this is the range, these number, and just close the bracket and hit enter. So it will just add the number of students. So it's 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Now, what is concat function? Concat function is to add two string. Let's say we have an ID ABC. ABC is in different column, and then you have this at the rate gmail.com. So if you want to just merge these. So exactly why this thing happened, you will face this also. Let's say I'm typing it at the rate gmail.com. So it is picking up it as a formula. So we need to just format this cell. This function is invalid. We need to format the cell before implementing this formula. So let's select this cell, come to this number one, and then just from this to move to the number. Okay, and let's just hit on okay. And now we can just type it. That is at the rate gmail.com. Oh, sorry. It's again showing, I think. Hmm. Move to the other one. Again, go to the format. So we are right now is number. And okay, we need to put it to the text. The reason is basically right now we are concat function, we are applying it on the text, right? So that's why we need to format our cell as text. Otherwise, it will be picking up that special character as a part of formula or something. So move it to the text, just hit on OK. Now we can type @gmail.com, right? Now I want to concat them. I want them to be in just single column. So for that we have concat function, tab key. So it is asking for text one, then you can see that and so on sign. So basically you can select multiple text, comma, and this text. Just close the bracket, hit enter. Now you can see that your email ID is in one column. Now this and or not, these are some logical functions we have. If I have to implement the AND function, so it is like you are implementing two conditions together. Let's say in a cell I have a value as 67, okay, and I am giving you a criteria as, so is the value is greater than, let's say less than 40, so it should be, let's say, fail. And then in this one, if the value can be, I am giving you a range, so value can be greater than, sorry, value can be less than or is equal to 100. If value will be less than 40, so it will show me the fail. This is the condition. So I can implement the AND function to implement two conditions together. Okay, so you can check out those video in which we have implemented the if function. So it is a kind of task for you. You can implement this AND function with your if function together. So in the if function we give some condition, and is also a function in which we provide conditions. Okay, so let's say I want to check out in this cell, let's say this cell is greater than, okay, let's say any value, it should be greater than 40. And then after that comma, you can give some another, sorry, first we have to start AND function, sorry, yes, tab key. Now you can see that it is asking for logical test. One is there, second is there, so you can give it like any number of logical tests. So my logical test is, I want to check out in this cell is the value is like greater than 40, but this value should be, yes, it should be greater than 40, comma, then in the same cell I want to check out the value should be less than or is equal to 100. Just close the bracket, hit enter. So because we don't have any value over here, let's type some value and hit enter, so it will show you true. So what exactly is happening, you have given it a condition. So if that condition is true, so you, what formula we have implemented, we want to find out if the value is greater than 40 or it should be less than or is equal to 100. If I hit enter and I am providing a value in this cell, so it is 56, that is greater than 40 and less than 100. So that's why my range is coming as true. Let's say I have typed 150, so that is more than 100, so it will show you false. The same way if I implemented let's say 0 or 10, so if I hit enter again, it will show you false. So something should be in the range of 40 to 100, it could be 68 something, so it will show you true. Now next function is our or function. The way then we have not function. So or function is, and is like for two conditions, same way we can implement the or function is also there. So it is based on the condition, so like it is like either or type of thing. So let's say I have a function as, I need to implement the function as or, press tab key. So again, you have to provide the logical test. Okay. So it is like in this cell can be is equal to some condition. Is it is equal to A, or so put comma to give another condition, that is the same cell. So again, the same cell is equal to B. Close the bracket, hit enter. So it is showing you false. Let's say give it a value. So it is true. So if you give a value as B, it will show you true. If you are right typing something else, so it will show you false. So it is like two conditions should be very together, right? So now not third function is not function. How not function works is actually if you want to just change the output, like you want to use it opposite. For example, if I type let's say, let me type some value over here. This is true. And if I go with the not function tab, so logical. So it is like this one. So if I hit enter, it will just oppose it. So right now my value is true. It will oppose it. It will make it false this way. So if I change the value as false, so it will make it to true. So not function work just opposite.